beginning of the second. What divide those up for us?
Turning 30-something did a lot for me.
How old a woman are you now?
What if I told you that behind the Partridge Family's perfect smiles and chart-topping hits lay a secret storm that changed everything? In 1970, a fresh-faced 17-year-old named Susan Dey stepped into the world as Laurie Partridge and instantly became America's sweetheart. Her debut on the hit sitcom felt like sunshine on a cloudy day. Audiences couldn't get enough of her effortless charm and luminous innocence. Merchandise flew off shelves, and every episode felt like a ticket to a happier place. But beneath the spotlight's glow, the pressure was building, and with it, a quiet tension that would ripple through the cast for decades. Picture this: the Partridge clan's iconic bus winding down dusty highways, laughter echoing through the bright red seats, and cameras rolling as the family harmonized their way into pop culture history. Yet off-camera, Susan wrestled with the weight of constant adoration. Fans adored Laurie's sweet smiles, but few saw the girl behind the role grappling with unspoken anxieties. As her co-star, David Cassidy's status as teen heartthrob soared. His face on magazine covers, screaming crowds at every concert, the spotlight on Susan only grew harsher. You'd think their on-screen sibling bond was unbreakable, but the demands of fame began to drive a wedge between them. Believe it or not, David and Susan's friendship was a lifeline amid the frenzy. He'd pull her aside between takes with a joke or a reassuring grin, and for a moment, the world fell away. But as David's fan base exploded, the comparisons intensified. Fans clamored to know which of the two was destined for bigger things, and suddenly, Laurie Partridge wasn't enough. The show's producers pushed for a David-driven musical tour, leaving Susan feeling sidelined, an afterthought in her own story. Despite David's later insistence that their cast was like family, the strain was real. Where he thrived on the roar of the crowd, Susan longed for genuine connections she found increasingly hard to maintain. Get this: while Susan's quiet introspection fueled her nuanced performances, the public demanded the perpetual sunshine of Laurie Partridge. Every interview required a perky persona, every photo op a flawless grin. Behind closed doors, she questioned who she was beyond the bus windows and cookie-cutter TV plots. Her bond with David became more complicated than anyone could imagine. Off-screen feelings bloomed in hushed moments, a shared laugh here, a fleeting glance there. Yet, romance on the Partridge Family was strictly off-limits. The network feared any hint of real-life romance would shatter the illusion of family purity. So both actors kept their emotions under lock and key. Fast forward to 2007, when David Cassidy dropped a bombshell in his memoir. He and Susan had spent a night together during the show's heyday. The confession rippled through Hollywood and sent shockwaves through Susan's life. Suddenly, a private moment of youthful confusion was public fodder, a raw nerve exposed after decades of carefully curated images. Susan, who'd rebuilt her career in more mature roles, what many fans never expected was that Susan Dey's silence would become more powerful than any interview, post, or public appearance. It wasn't just a refusal to engage in nostalgia, it was a quiet rebellion against the way Hollywood often rewrites people's stories for them. While other stars chased the spotlight, Susan slipped into a different kind of life. One filled with intention, privacy, and quiet resilience. Her absence from countless reunion specials wasn't fueled by bitterness, but by a need to reclaim what had once been taken from her. And just when fans thought they understood her silence, another name suddenly resurfaced, reigniting a wave of intrigue: Danny Bonaduce. Danny, The fiery redhead and comic relief of the Partridge Family had always lived on the edge of chaos. From a troubled childhood to substance issues and arrests, his life post-fame was a roller coaster. But what shocked fans recently was his devastating health revelation. A rare neurological disorder left him unable to walk properly. The very man who once danced and joked across our screens was now learning to walk again. It was a heartbreaking update, but also an inspiring one. His journey from teen stardom to rock bottom, and now to recovery, reminds us that fame doesn't shield anyone from pain. And in his words, "I'm not done fighting yet." That line alone gave chills to fans who remembered his youthful fire. But while Danny fights to regain his mobility, Shirley Jones, the matriarch of the Partridge Family, has faced her own kind of storm. At 90, Shirley remains a towering figure in Hollywood history, but recent reports suggest her health is declining, slowly dimming the sparkle of one of America's most beloved TV moms. The woman who once carried the weight of the show with grace and warmth is now retreating into the twilight of her years. Yet, despite the challenges, Shirley's financial legacy remains impressive. With a net worth once hovering around $25 million, bolstered by real estate investments and royalties, her fortune is expected to sustain her family well into the future. Her long-standing career in film and music wasn't just glamorous, it was strategic. She's proof that building a Hollywood empire isn't just about fame, but about making wise moves long after the cameras stop rolling. In contrast, Brian Forster, who played Chris on the show, lives a life far removed from the spotlight. Many